channel. Today we're making some hay. Make sure you guys get down there in the description, like, subscribe, and comment on this video if you like it. If you like content from our channel and you want to support it, there's links in the description. Anyway, today we're making hay, International Harvester 6588, Heston 4910. I hope you guys like that drone footage of raking earlier. The sun's going down. It's gonna start cooling off here really quick. It already is cooling off a little bit. But what we gotta do, we gotta check the oil in the, I'm pretty sure we need some oil in the engine. I need to grease a few spots that I didn't get greased earlier. And then we gotta pull this broken bale off the back, and then we gotta go make some hay. So let's get to it. I think I talked about it last video, but this tractor is probably gonna need a rebuild at some point. I mean, most old tractors do, but this hood just all slides forward and you get access to the engine. I'm just gonna go out on a limb here and say we need oil. So I brought the gear with me. Yeah, we need a little oil. We're a little low, so go ahead and we just got some standard 1540. We definitely, like I said before, this tractor's probably gonna need a rebuild or in-frame done. Luckily, it's not too hard to get to, really. Probably about half of it. There we go. Mo better. Okay. Now we got that did. We're gonna run over here and we're gonna grease the packer and the drive line to the baler. Then we're gonna pull that bale out. And well, we're gonna back over there first and pull that bale out, and then we're gonna go walk over here. Oh, and also before I forget, grab that socket and the grease gun. So I have a huge list of tools on my list that I want, but first off, I need more acres. Second off, I need man, I need more stuff, really. Acres, land to do things, and really just yeah. So it's really important to keep your baler greased, because without it, especially these U-joints are a daily thing, without it, bad things happen, and you don't want to have a U-joint seize up on you. It is not, it's not fun at all. Ask me how I know. And honestly, anymore with battery-powered grease guns, there's really no excuse for why somebody would not grease their baler. Okay, so a little baler education while we're at it. Up front you have the pickup. The pickup turns the hay up into here, and then these tines, this is called the packer crank. So this crank packs into this pre-compression chamber, and then once a certain amount of hay gets in this pre-compression chamber, this fork shoves down and then shoves it up into the chamber that's above us. But this packer crank on this 4910 is notorious in its original in its from factory original way. It's notorious for breaking ends off, and you had to replace the whole packer crank, and it was like a $10,000 deal. And then eventually, when you got the updated packer cranks, the updated cranks had ends that were changeable. That way, if you broke an end, you didn't have to change the whole packer crank. So, okay. Got that did. So that's the inside of a 4910. Really, I mean, It's a square baler, guys. Hay gets picked up, pre-compressed, shoved, smashed, squished, strung, and pushed out the back. It's really that simple. And then there's a whole lot of, you know, fancy stuff. The hardest part about a baler is the knotters. And I don't think anybody in the world of square balers would disagree with that. So it's starting to cool off. I can feel it. Perfect time to get in the field. We're gonna go bale some new seeding first. It's gonna be dusty and ugly, and then we'll get into some second year crops, and then 4th year crop too. So you'll notice this hydraulic SCV is tied back. The reason it's tied back is because this baler has to have constant flow hydraulics, and this tractor has closed center hydraulics, so there's not constant flow. You have to have that there tied back. On the new balers, they have hydraulic pumps built into the baler, so you don't have to worry about that. So we're just gonna go ahead and back up over and pull that bale out, like I said. Lift my pickup up. Old tractor, stuff settles, right? So. The old 6588 sure does let you turn pretty tight. I'm gonna try to back up a little quickly here and see if I can just slam on the brakes. See if I can get that hay to dump off. I don't know. Pop it out of gear. Go check. Pin hydraulics. Nope, it didn't move. So hopefully I can get it to move. Just trying to get this off. Dang it. Okay. Oh. All right. Yeah. So we're stuck. Got a couple strings stuck wrapped around there. No wonder it didn't want to come off. I'm glad it did that though, because it reminded me I need to grab my knife, because you need to have a knife when you're baling with twine. Knife, kniff. Also gotta grab my flashlight, which I'm probably gonna cut this out of this video. Really. There it is, flashlight. There we go. Okay, that's what I need. Whew, it's cooling off. Kind of smells like there's some dew coming on. That'd be perfecto. Okay. All right, so got my knife, got my other stuff I needed. Just go ahead and apparently there was string wrapped around this. So at one point there was a bale counter. So this little tab right here, every time obviously a bale would go over it, it counts the number of bales. It doesn't work on this one. There's a few items that don't work on this one. But let's get down to the field and get started. Okay, so as I'm driving to the first row, I typically, work on getting stuff ready. One thing I've noticed with my new seat is that I can't control the PTO with this armrest. I gotta swivel my seat, kick on my PTO. Now my PTO's on. Bale monitor is on. Pressure set. Backlight's working, which hasn't worked before. I do like the swivel. It's nice for baling. I'm gonna put the pickup down and go to baling. Now this is going to be really dusty field because this is new seeding. If you guys didn't see it, this is the field that I cleaned up with the skid steer earlier, this Cat 289 or 259 D3 earlier this year. And it's awesome. It's going to be a great field, but new seeding is always a little softer and dirtier, and it's just dusty. So, you know, it's not going to make premium quality hay. It's going to make feeder hay. And plus, all this hay got rained on again, so we're just making cow hay, which is fine. We need cow feed too. This video is probably going to roll over till tomorrow morning, so I can get some drone shots and things like that, because I've got about 80 acres to bale, and I don't know if I'll get it done tonight. I probably won't get it all done tonight. So I'll have to get it tomorrow around noon or 11 or so, get started, and finish baling some hay on the other side. But got my bale monitor rolling here. This is telling me I need to get over to the right a little bit. That's how many flakes per bale right now. That's the load, so that's just a number I set for depending on the crop. And that's the pressure inside the chamber. So between 1,000 and 1,200 is optimal. On these balers, if you get above about 1,500, the hay's too dry. If you get below 750, 800, 750, the hay's too wet. And so that's an easy way to tell how wet the hay is, and that's what I use to calculate how wet the hay is. So we're just gonna get on these rows and make some hay. Well, it's the next morning now, and funny how I talk about things and then they happen. You know, last night I mentioned that knotters are usually the hardest thing to work on, and well, we have a knotter problem. So these are the knotters. This is a big square baler, so there's, well, this is a 4x4 big square baler, so there's 6 of them. They tie knots. This one is not working right. So the knot keeps getting stuck here. There's a bill hook and all sorts of stuff. This is pretty loose. But I think, well, it feels better today. So I would adjust the tension between this arm, because this arm wipes the string and pulls the knot out. You just take a hammer. That way there's more tension on it. And then we go try it, and if it doesn't work, we call the baler mechanic. The other problem I had is the tractor's alternator quit charging. And if you remember, I've had this problem before. You can go check out the cards. We fixed this before. So I got to pull this apart, replace a fuse. Problem is I don't have a fuse. I don't have time to go get a fuse. So, and honestly, it's Sunday. I don't think anybody that has that fuse is going to be open. So I'm going to make a fuse. Well, I'm not going to really make, I'm going to make something to go in the fuse's place. So what I thought was the problem was not the problem. The fuses are good. I guess we need to turn the tractor on and see if the alternator's charging. Then we can determine if the alternator's bad or not. Or if there's a signal wire that's bad. I've already checked the battery cables. They're good. So that would be my next. My next go-to is... It's not showing any signs of life here, so... So I'm pretty positive this alternator's quit me. I do have an extra though, so gonna get after it. Okay, new alternator and, well, replacement alternator and not a new one. And now we're gonna see if we can get it to charge. So I'm watching this gauge right here. See how low it is? Typically up at the top of that, and the alternator. I'm thinking it's another fuse. I'm gonna go, I have some wiring diagrams I'm gonna go look at and try to figure out which one it could be. Okay, so fuse panel on these is right here. Pull her down. And the fuse is good. Check and see if any of the other fuses aren't good. You know, that stinks. So a control wire obviously is not sending signal to the alternator to let things charge. Let me go look. Okay, so I got the alternator charging. Basically what happened is, sometime last night when I was driving the tractor, a couple of the wires got pinched. The control wire and the signal wire for the alternator got pinched. And anyway, so I ran 2 new wires and now we are charging like we should be. So I came out to the field. It's the middle of the afternoon. Usually I would not bail this time of day, but I adjusted the nodder earlier with you guys, pounded on it with a hammer. So this new seating stuff, I'm just gonna try to run around and run just enough hay through it to get the knotters to tie and see if the knotter ties. And if the knotter doesn't tie, I'll call the knotter mechanic so that we can keep going, because we got a lot of hay to bale. Just finished baling my fields. The hay's not very good. It's definitely feeder hay. Nothing fancy, nothing special. Just low. We got some work to do on our fields. Anyway, we're headed to my mom's field, which is just across the road here. And we're gonna start baling the indrows and see how it acts. If it's too dry, we'll stop and we'll wait until it cools off. If it's good, we're just gonna keep rolling and get it knocked out. So that's where we're headed. Let's get there. We got it done. Oh, just in time too. The dew set in hard, but we made some pretty good looking hay. It got rained on, so it's kind of brittle. Have a beautiful sunset behind us. It looks a lot better in person. It's kind of washed out. It looks like it's washed out. It could be better, I don't know. But anyway, IH6588, Heston 4910. What did we learn? Well, the knife arm on the knotter is supposed to pull the knot out of the bill hook, and sometimes it's not tight enough. So if you whack it with a hammer, make that fitment tighter, you won't have knot problems like I have. And I have a bunch of 5-string bales that look like bananas, and they're mine, but that sucks. On the tractor, okay? Pretty simple, really. On an alternator on this tractor, you have a big wire for all the power to go back to the batteries. And you also have 2 wires. One has power all the time, one has power when the ignition is on. That allows the alternator to sense, and that tells it when to charge batteries. So, last night sometime when we were making hay, I must have hit a bump or something, and a wiring harness somewhere got pinched. The only thing that happened is the alternator didn't charge, but now I ran 2 new wires and the alternator's charging. So we'll dig deeper. We're gonna do a lot more work to the old IH6588. I think I'm gonna end up using it a lot. Not really in this, like the haying aspect, but in fertilizer, my fertilizer selling and distributing. Thank you guys for watching. Check out those links in the description. If you can support the channel, please do. We appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed that drone footage, and we'll see you next time. We got a lot more work to do this week. Make sure you guys stay tuned.